move.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, I just spoke with Judge Jackson, because there was a little confusion. We had a meeting with him this afternoon. He didn't really plan on doing anything. The commissioners called an emergency meeting. They discussed it, and then the judge left it up to each department head to decide what to do. So the tax assessor decided to go ahead and close her lobby. The library person decided that that was best because of all the kids that come in. And then the show barn is closed for the month of April. Court will continue as is for right now. I also spoke with him to see if he was anywhere near signing an emergency declaration. He said no, not at this time. So really nothing has changed for the county since we met with him this afternoon. So I'm still wanting to hold off and read this up a little bit more and find out what happens hour by hour. Any comments by council?
Yes, I have a comment since I did put this on the agenda. You know, Mayor, it's, I understand it is a hard decision, but I am urging you to really, really look at this. I mean, just since the information that you gave us right now, even though they let their department heads make decisions, they're making decisions in the best interest of their employees. And so this is something that we need to look at, not only for our employees, but for all of our residents in the city, and also what this would mean for the city following a declaration of public health emergency. Even though this isn't as obvious as a tornado, the effect it can have will be just as detrimental, in my opinion. And I really urge you to really consider and approve this document.
Yes, I will be reading it and going over it with a fine-tooth comb.
I'm gonna have to agree with Ms. Jimenez on this. The sooner we do it, can we just put it on place and just?
I'm not comfortable with signing a document that I'm not thoroughly familiar with. And again, I go back to the last page where if we do put this in order, that everything is immediately canceled. And I don't think that that's fair to the ones that will probably be canceling on their own. So again, I will go through it. We are scheduled, if not before, for next Wednesday night. At that time, I will have a definitive answer on this declaration.
Would it be possible to get an answer by this Wednesday for the declaration?
I was going to say, Mayor, also if you and the council can look at the Exhibit A, because I think that that is what's going to be more in relation or more about our city, and that's where you're going to have restrictions, and that is subject to change. And your will, Mayor, and the rest of the council, that would be Exhibit A. The rest of it pretty much verbatimly is pursuant to a statute to the government code. Okay. I do want to tell you that I have family that is law enforcement in the San Marcos area, and they now have 2 people that have been confirmed. I know that they had 1, and now they've indicated they're sending me that basically there's now 2 people that have been confirmed.
Where's that?
In San Marcos.
Hayes County.
Yes, ma'am. And I know that's not abutting us or anything, but just, I'm sure it was a small community that was outside the city of San Antonio and thought they were going to be okay, and it didn't, but just wanted to share that with you.
Because we want them to sanitize prior to, I don't know, entering and exiting the buildings, and just for the protection of our citizens.
Would you like that on the agenda for the next meeting, for discussion? The next scheduled meeting?
Well, we had already talked about that, but I would like a decision on this declaration way before the next meeting.
And
It seems like time is of the essence since we are getting updates continually,
Hourly, yes.
hourly if not. And they're not the most positive updates either.
Ms. Turner, so our next meeting is gonna be next Wednesday or the?
next Wednesday.
Based on your
But
Unless,
stay open again, because
unless we have another.
well, I can tell you that if it gets to the point where I feel led, because this is an emergency, there will be an emergency meeting.
Right.
Yes.
be prepared that that might be tomorrow. It might be this evening. My understanding is that TML has sent us information indicating that if there is an emergency, you will be allowed to have a meeting via telephone conference. Okay.
And that doesn't have to be,
From
visual.
what I'm reading, and Monica, correct me if I'm wrong, but I read it really, really quickly, and it just says because of the time is of the essence and because of what's going on, that they will allow you, let me see,
It can be a
to
conference call.
hold a meeting via telephone conference or video conference, and they want us to look at the requirements that are still put in place.
Sure.
But I think that they're gonna be willing to assist the city in whatever method needs to be done so that you can do your business in this emergency situation.
So you're saying an emergency meeting, you can have via conference or?
They are basic, it says, yeah.
TML sent out the email, and it says Governor Greg Abbott today acted to maintain government transparency and continued government operations while reducing face-to-face contact for government open meetings. As Texas works to mitigate the spread of COVID-19, the governor granted the Office of the Attorney General's request for suspension of certain open meeting statutes. The temporary suspension will allow for telephone or video conference meetings of governmental bodies and are accessible to the public in an effort to reduce in-person meetings that assemble large groups of people.
Again, keeping in mind for public safety, they're trying to keep it as limited as the
But it's
contact.
not necessarily just an emergency meeting, this could be any meeting.
Yes. At the moment, yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thank you, that's what the clarification I was just asking.
Okay. Any other comments or questions concerning item B?
My last comment is I don't wanna have to wait on any other entity. We have the authority to move forward.
No, I'm not waiting on another entity. I am wanting to make the best possible decision for the city of Floresville, for its safety as number one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? If not, I will entertain a motion on item B.
So you will make a decision by whenever it's even if it's before Wednesday.
Yes. 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 Like I said, it does change hour by hour because before we came into this meeting, Hayes County was not listed as well.
So Mayor, to be fair, should we put it on the agenda for
Yes.
next Wednesday?
Yes. Yes,
That
we
will be
can
a
table this one if you like and
Okay.
put it on the next meeting.
Yes.
You can put it on the next meeting or put it if we have to have an emergency.
The next meeting, whenever that day will be.
Yeah.
And as far as
But no
telephone,
later than Wednesday.
as far as telephone conferencing, Mrs. Turner, will you check in with how we can do that?
We're gonna work on that when we spend some time tomorrow with staff on how we can facilitate that and let you all know. But we need to practice, so we may wanna just have two of you all practice and see me and the other, because I don't wanna have a forum, but we may wanna practice and make sure everybody can phone in and those kinds of things.
And the
And we'll be
logistics
okay
of,
as long as we're not deliberating or making other decisions on.
We have been in contact, we have gotten hold of free conferences, so that we can set it up, and then then we can just tell you to call this number and then have a code, but we need to practice on that, and the secretary got that this afternoon, or I think I'm gonna send it to her this afternoon, later on this evening, so that we can do that, where you can phone in and be able to set up with a number, and I know we've done it already.
yeah, that's what the state does.
So we haven't set it up yet, but that's something we'll be setting up tomorrow.
Okay.
One more question, Mayor. Did you see the email from TML this morning where it gives an example of proclamation of a disaster and explains?
We have that.
Okay. Did you see that email too, Mayor?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Yes. It's been a busy day, busy week.
Year.
Yeah, year. And again, our condolences to Mrs. Cantu and to her family. We're so sorry for your loss, and we just thank everybody for coming out this evening. Did I have a motion? Oh, no, we did that.
Thank you, Mr.
The
Table.
table it.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much, and
We
if no
Did
other
we didn't
business.
vote for that?
We didn't vote.
Okay, all right, did I have a motion?
I'll make a motion
I had a motion by Mrs. Cantu, do I have a second?
A second.
Seconded by Mrs. Martinez. 2-hour meeting.
Ms. Feliz, do you have what the motion is?
Table
agenda item, and place it on the next agenda.
Okay, okay.
Okay. All those in favor,
Or
please
before.
raise your right hand. Okay, thank you. With no other business on the agenda, this meeting is now concluded at 7:05.